y'all, I'm Brenda with Blessings and Bread. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making one of my favorite fall cookies. I'm going to be making pumpkin pecan cookies. This cookie is just packed with so much fall flavor between the pumpkins, the pecans, and just a little hint of spice. It is the perfect cookie for fall, and then it's topped with this delicious brown sugar butter frosting. So come along with me today while I make one of my fall cookies, pumpkin pecan cookies. We're going to start this recipe today like so many recipes start with, and that's we're going to be combining the dry ingredients. And if you've seen one of my baking videos, you'll know that I like to sift mine, but you don't have to do that. You can strictly just mix them together in a bowl with a wire whisk. All right, but let's get started. Today I'm beginning with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Into my sifter that goes. And then I need a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. So we'll start with a teaspoon and a half. Now we're also going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So just a little bit of soda. Now we're going to add the spices. So we're going to start with a teaspoon of cinnamon. I just love cinnamon. Anything cinnamon flavored, I love that. And sometimes I just even sprinkle a little cinnamon when I'm eating an apple onto my apple. It's so good. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of allspice. Allspice is a pretty strong flavored spice, so we don't need much of that. And really, that's all the spice that's in there. So this recipe has a gentle, little mild flavor of spices. So now I'm going to sift that flour and those spices and leavening agents all together and set it aside. All right, next I'm going to beat the butter or cream my butter in my mixer. And I'm using a whole cup. I need to double check this recipe. It's been since last fall since I made it. Yes, it is 1 cup. I did that right. So it's a whole cup of softened butter. And I've already had this butter out. Get my spatula. Have this butter out so it's good and soft. And earlier I thought it wasn't going to be soft enough, so I even put it in my microwave for about 20 seconds on the defrost. So it's softened well now. So now I can just cream that for about 30 seconds on medium speed. All right, that's creamed well. So next we're going to add in our sugar, which it's, I believe, 1 cup of sugar. My recipe, it's on a recipe card today. I keep having to flip back and forth. 1 cup of sugar, I was right. So we're going to beat that in with the butter. You guys should have told me you couldn't see my mixer. I wasn't paying enough attention, was I? All right, I always like to scrape the bowl. So after I beat in the sugar, we're going to add our 1 egg and beat that in. It is a large egg. don't have a stand mixer, I always say this, you can use a hand mixer or you can stir by hand. This recipe doesn't make the thickest dough, so it definitely probably is one you could do by hand. Fairly easy. All right, next we're going to stir in the pumpkin, and we're stirring in 1 cup of pumpkin. And this is canned pumpkin. I did not bake a pumpkin and make my own pureed pumpkin, but I'm a big Libby's fan, so I just bought Libby's canned pumpkin, and there's a little bit left in the can. I'll have to find something else to do. Maybe there's not 2 cups of that in there, though. I know that anytime you're making pumpkin bread, or there's never 2 cups in that. It's about 1.5 cups, I think, in that can. All right, we're going to mix this in until it's mixed in well. All right, I'm now ready to add the dry ingredients. We're almost done. Making cookies is really fun to me, and it's not really that time consuming. They make up pretty quick. The hard part is spending all the time baking them, or the time consuming part. So I don't have a lot of flour here. I think I'm gonna do about half and half today. But I will start on low speed to prevent flour from going everywhere, and then speed up to mix in well. Right, I think that's mixed really well. And the last thing to put in there is the pecans. So, and I have 1 cup of pecans that are toasted. Now, it's important to toast your pecans. Toasting your pecans brings out the flavor. That didn't take long at all to mix up. And these cookies are ready to drop onto the cookie sheet and bake. Before we do, I'm going to give you a close-up look of the batter, or the cookie dough. It's almost, to me, more of a batter, but it does turn out to be more like I would say it turns into more of a cake-like cookie than it does like a chewy cookie. They're a cookie with a lot of body to them, but they are easy to bake, easy to make, and delicious to eat. I was going to say about toasting your pecans. It's easy to do and important. It just brings out the flavor. But the way I toast my pecans is I put my pecans on a cookie sheet in a single layer, and I at 350, and I bake them for 4 minutes. Then I stir them, try to flip them over, and bake them for 4 more minutes. And then I just let them cool on the cookie sheet before I store them. And if I'm not using them immediately, I will store them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag or a container. So, all right, so these cookies are ready to drop onto our cookie sheet. You do a little cleanup here. And my cookie sheets are already prepared. They go on an ungreased cookie sheet. But I always try, when I have it, to prepare my cookie sheet with parchment paper. So I've already got the parchment paper on my cookie sheet. And I have a brand new cookie scoop. My other one was kind of not working as well, so I picked this one up the other day. And I'm just going to use that. And that's how big my cookies are going to be. It said it would make about 40 cookies, but it didn't say what size. It said drop them by teaspoons. It's important to try. Oh, let's move that one over. It's important to try to make sure they're all the same size, and that's how the cookie scoop does help. Oh, I don't know if I can get another row. I think I'll stop. 1, 2, 3, 15. I really should be able to get more than that, but I'm always better safe than sorry. Let's go to the air to the side of safety. All right, so these are gonna go in a 375-degree oven. Most cookies I bake at 350, so this is a little different. It's at 375, so you might wanna take note of that. We're gonna put them in the oven, and they're gonna bake. for 10 to 12 minutes. Anytime a recipe gives me 2 times, I always set my timer for the lowest setting, check them at that time to see if they need to bake longer. That's all going to depend on your oven. So I'll be back when these come out of the oven. My first batch of cookies are out of the oven, and as you can see, they did not spread at all. I've let them set for about a minute or 2 minutes here on the cookie sheet, and then I'm going to remove them to finish cooling on a wire rack. So as soon as I get these transferred, I'll be baking the rest of these cookies, and when I get through baking all the cookies, I will come back and we will show you how I make the brown sugar butter frosting. All of my pumpkin pecan cookies are now baked, and I'm ready to make the brown sugar butter frosting. And before I do that, let me just say I ended up with actually 57 cookies, and the recipe said it should make 40. So I definitely have made these cookies smaller than the recipe originally called for, but it'll be fine. They're pretty much a bite-sized cookie, but they'll be perfect for tonight because people always like more than one dessert, so they can have a small cookie along with their chocolate pie or chocolate cake at the fellowship tonight. Okay, so this is a very, very simple recipe, the brown sugar butter frosting, and it's just going to start with 6 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to put that in a medium saucepan, and then it has a 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to now have to take this to the stove, and I'm going to melt the butter and combine the butter and the brown sugar on the stove. Also, while I'm doing that, I have a small amount of water in a pan, and I'm going to be heating that water. So later we're going to need some hot water to add to this. So I'm going to go to the stove, melt my butter, and then I'll be back. The butter, it melted really quick because I had it at room temperature. And so now I'm going to add to the butter and brown sugar 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm going to stir that together. And this is where I'm going to need to add the water, because that's just kind of, as you can see, it's just kind of clumping up in here. So it's going to need some hot water to keep that butter kind of melted, I guess, and to help maybe dissolve the sugar some more. It says 2 to 3 teaspoons, but if I remember right, I've used more than that. And I'm going to go ahead and do 3 because I'm pretty sure I've used more than that. But basically, I'm just making this into a frosting that is easy to spread on top of these cookies. And I want to stir it really well so that it is mixed well and there aren't any lumps of brown sugar or the powdered sugar. So it looks like it's coming together really well. Makes a really nice little frosting. All right, and then it also has a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And that's all there is to this little simple frosting. And it really does add to cookies. I'm trying to tilt my pan up a little bit so you can see this frosting. I think I might still have a few chunks of brown sugar that didn't dissolve in there, where there were some little hard pieces. I did use dark brown sugar today, but light or dark brown sugar works. All right. Now I'm just going to start and I'm going to add the frosting. I'm just going to use a teaspoon to add just a little bit of frosting on top of each of the cookies. I think I'll run out of frosting. I don't, with having too many cookies or making the cookies smaller like I did, I think we'll end up not having enough frosting, but I'm just gonna, and then I usually just swirl it around a little bit, just put a little bite of frosting on top. So I have to do this till I run out of frosting. The cookies are good even without the frosting. They're not a very sweet cookie, but in it they have a really mild pumpkin flavor. They're not a strong pumpkin flavor like you might expect in pumpkin bars. But yeah, just a little swirl of frosting on top of each cookie. The recipe does say with this particular frosting, like if it begins to get kind of grainy, that I can add a little more hot water to smooth it back to a spreadable consistency. All right, today my cookies are all done, and I'm blessed today to have Brother John Sanders with us. We've been in revival, and he's our speaker and my dear friend. We've known each other for a long time, haven't we, Brother John?
Many
years. We don't want to say how long, actually. But he's going to be my taste tester today, so help yourself to a cookie, Brother John.
All right, and what am I eating?
These are pumpkin pecan cookies.
Ooh, I love all of those ingredients.
Oh, good. Then you'll like them then.
For sure.
They're good.
It's all right to speak.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Delicious.
Mm. Well, it's what I'm taking to the social tonight. So there'll be more at the social later tonight.
And then if any left over, I can still maybe take one home in my pocket. Okay.
That's right.
Wonderful.
Or they'll come back to the house. So, yes. Do you give it a 2 thumbs up?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. 2 thumbs up. Well, thank you, Brother John, for being here. He's done a great job with our revival. And I thank you for coming along while I made my pumpkin pecan cookies. And I'll see you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.
They're delicious.